Hey everybody, it's Annette. Day 2 of prepper camp. Today was a lot smoother for me, having gone down that path, down that road, and still seeing the leaves on the road bothered me a little bit, but not like it did yesterday. Today was beautiful. It was sunny. It actually got a little hot. And then around 3:30, heard the thunder in the background, and we got a big thunderstorm. So I went home after that. Uh, some interesting things that I was noticing at the camp, because I just do this. This is what I do. It seemed like I noticed a lot of women, different ages, I mean, across the board. And of course, the men are always at things like this too. And it seemed like I don't have the ticket stats or anything like that. This is just from the eyes of Annette. It seemed like it was either 50-50 or in some cases 60% women, 40% men, just depending on where I was looking. So there were a lot of women there, and I think that's really awesome because it seems like, and the guys have to learn too, but as a woman, I assume the guys know it all because they're always in the tools and everything and knowing how to fix stuff. And it's, and I know that's a stereotype, so I'm sorry. But just seeing a lot of women, because a lot of women, you know, in the corporate or work or whatever, you don't see a lot of women doing things like this, getting a little dirty. Um, so this is a cool place to see that. See women who will farm, work with animals, tan hides, hunt, know how to defend themselves. So it's really nice. I know where I work, there is another woman on my team who has a farm and is very experienced with a lot of things. But a lot of other places that I've worked, it was, what's the newest handbag? What's the best pair of shoes to get? And I did look at shoes because it's what I do. Anyway, I still have purses. It seemed like it's a big divide. So I saw a lot of the hiking boots, the Merrell type waterproof, which is what I have, that I've worn yesterday, today, and will wear tomorrow because I knew the ground would be wet. It's by a lake, and then the rain came in. I hate having wet feet. So my feet never got wet. I had backup socks in my bag. I used for my socks, a merino wool blend that's specifically for warmer weather. I got those before we went to France because I wanted something that would be breathable. I didn't want to be just feeling the sweat in my shoes the whole time and then rubbing blisters on my feet or whatever, because I knew we were going to do a lot of walking. So if you go to Amazon, there's a merino wool blend for warm weather. There's also the wool blends for winter, but for the specific topic, for the hot weather, keeps the sweat from just sticking to you. It wicks that away. You don't feel just nasty or wet. And then the Merrell hiking boots, shoes, they're kind of like ankle boots. Fantastic. Some of the best quality. I've used them hiking. I've used them at prepper camp, or if I'm going to go somewhere where I'm going to be outdoors and it's wet, you're going to have dry feet. Now, on the other spectrum, I did see a lot of people in athletic shoes. But athletic shoes are going to let the water in. So either those people were okay with that. Some people, I guess, don't mind getting their feet a little wet. I personally can't stand it. I am like very uncomfortable if I'm outside and I'm going to be outside all day long or moving around, I cannot stand that. So I guess it's a matter of preference. So it was about half and half on the hiking boots, Merrell top kind of waterproof shoes, and then the athletic footwear. There were a very small percentage of people who did wear the rain boots, and that's very functional too for what this was. So today, home defense, I took that. Basically, how to defend your home from the outside all the way to the inside, whether it's with cameras, being aware of things that are supposed to be going on in your neighborhood, and then determining if there is a break-in, what are you trained to do? What are you ready to do to confront that threat? Some people you have to make a decision, like, is it going to be lethal force or is it going to be non-lethal? And whatever it is that you pick, because looking another human being in the eye and, doing that, I can't answer that. So there are non-lethal things, the pepper spray, bear spray, clubs, baseball bats, all kinds of things. There's actually like a pistol and a rifle that are non-lethal but highly effective, and you'll have to Google it. Burma. I think it's Burma. You'll have to look that up. I just recently heard about that, and it does a projectile of like the pepper spray. So you're hitting someone not with a bullet that will kill them, but with a high velocity pepper spray capsule. I don't know what it is. What kind? I don't want to say ammo, but that's something to look into, because that's a way to take care of someone and then have time to call for help. I'm not telling you what to choose. That's going to be for you. What are you willing to do to defend your home? If you have small children in there, what are you willing to do to defend them? And again, depending on what state you're in. So it's some really, really interesting topics covering home defense. Lethal and non-lethal alternatives, just a plethora of things that, again, is dependent on each person. And then, well, it's going to take wild edible survival. I think that's not meant for me to take. I think it's meant for me just to go outside and pick weeds, and then I'm going to die from something eventually. Kidding. The only thing that I really pick and put in my mouth is dandelion and plantain. But this class, I don't know if the instructor couldn't make it or what happened. So instead, it was called land navigation. And I didn't really know what that meant. Well, I got to the tent and it said map reading. Holy cow, do I need to be there? I cannot read a map. My mother could lay a map out on a table, just no MapQuest at that time, no nothing, no where we're starting from, where we're ending, and she was my literal MapQuest, writing down start to finish instructions. Now my husband, he knows maps, he's taught maps, he hasn't taught them to me. I don't know if he can dumb it down enough for me. I'm not certain yet, but I think we need to take the compass and do some test runs. But anyway, he's the kind of person who, when you're trying to say where something is, he'll go, "Is that north of something?" I'm like, "It's on the other side of Walmart." So, it's to the left of Walmart. I don't know if that's north, south, east, or west. Do y'all do that? Do y'all give directions like that? Because I can't. I don't know. So I did need to take that class, and it was really a very helpful class. And it helped me understand what to look for in maps. So I'm definitely going to be buying some maps. I've already had that on my wish list. Some topographical maps, the one that shows, the lay of the land, where the hills and water and all that stuff is, not just the flat map. Got to have a little bit of curves in there. Okay, so, oh, this was a fun one. Your body is a weapon. Taught by, I gotta look it up here, Sarah Hathaway, three-time, a three-time black belt in Taekwondo, I believe she said, and also an author. So I'll get to that after this, but like, she taught your body as a weapon, different self-defense things, and it was a really interactive class. I really loved that. I think she said she was like 5 feet tall. That woman can kick it. Okay. I would not want to get paired up with her sparring. I would get beat up. But she had everybody, all of us get out from under the tent and get in a circle and then get with partners. Well, I didn't have a partner, so she found a lady to pair me up with who was no bigger than a minute. And then we were next to another couple who, she was like built like an Amazon and did not mind, was working with her husband, did not mind smacking around or whatever, getting out of a hold. I'm more, I don't want to hurt you and I don't want to be hurt. So when it said like put somebody in grab somebody's wrist, I am like literally just gently grabbing the wrist. I just want to learn the motions. The Amazon lady next to us was good. You need to grab harder. You need to break out of that. And I'm like, I'm not going to hurt anybody. Okay, this is practice. We're just learning the moves. I am not paired up with some 6-foot guy. I'm paired up with a lady probably as tall as me and tiny, okay? And again, I don't want to get hurt either, okay? I don't need another boo-boo in my life. But she was like so sweet. I think we spent probably as much time hugging one another as we did sparring. But it was really cool. It's talked about like if you get in a chokehold, if somebody grabs your wrist, even if somebody grabs your ponytail, different ways to get out of that. And I highly recommend, if you have the opportunity to take a self-defense class, to take it. Now, one thing that is super awesome that she taught was the three finger method, to where she had us like hold a piece of paper up and then just poof, to the piece of paper. And it does give you a lot of power behind that. So obviously you're going to go for this soft spot here. You're going to go for wherever you can get, or cup. Kids, don't do this at home, okay? This is not a game, okay? This can really hurt people. But 3 fingers, hitting somebody here, it's a very tender spot. And then you can grab somebody's ear, cover their ear, whack them on the other side there. That, I don't even want to know what that would do to your ears. So there's lots of things that are doable, even if you are, held on tightly by somebody. Our elbows can do a lot. Those things are pointy. Our legs can do a lot. So I really, really liked her. And she also happens to be an author of this Changing Earth series. And I went to her booth and they were doing a special 8 books for paperbacks signed, $55, $2 card processing fee, which I didn't mind, because even at $57 for 8 books, and like the first book is Day After Disaster. A global earthquake rattles the planet and ocean levels rise. Separated from her family, Erica Moore must find them, dead or alive. So that's the first book in this series. So I love all this post-apocalyptic genre. I love that. I'm so on board with that. Walking Dead, yes. We watched that. And then I love, like, there's all kinds of EMP, Kindle books and stuff like that. I don't know why I'm drawn to that. I just love these emergency scenarios. I think it gets me out of my own headspace. And then seeing how other people are surviving in the books. And there's another one, I'll recommend it when I think about it. It was like so good. It's like one of the best series I've ever heard. So I'll try to remember that one. It's about the EMP that comes, and the lady has been kidnapped in a basement, and then whatever the automatic door is on the basement in the EMP, the door's not working, so she escapes, finds a Great Pyrenees tied outside, and takes that with her, and is navigating through the snow. Edge of Collapse series. That's it. One of the best. Highly recommend that one. You got great character development, and I just really, really loved it. It's such a good series, and there's a lot in there that does tell you what to do, how to substitute things if you run out of shampoo, different home remedies you can use for wounds and sick and stuff like that. Oh, which makes me remember, I got some herbal salve, some plantain. It's called Honey Bee, the letter B, Goodness. This one is plantain. I got one for myself and one for my son. One thing with the plantain, once I learned how to identify it, and I don't think it was growing in the yard for a while, it finally came up. But it's supposed to grow everywhere. It's considered a weed. However, if you get a sting or a bite, non-lethal snake bite, I don't deal with rattlers, okay? I can't tell you what to do with that. But for stings and stuff like that, you can tear a leaf off, put it in your mouth, and just kind of grind it down, put the poultice on that. Plantain draws the poisons out. Plantain is a really great herb for drawing toxins out. I drink it too as the herb, the dried herb, if I start to feel sick. So plantain, because my son does a lot outside and he does go camping, I did send him some dried plantain leaves, but I also got him some salve now, because you don't see this everywhere. You can usually order them on Etsy, but shipping's kind of expensive. And this is a really nice size tin. 2 ounces. Usually they're 1 ounce, and hers were $10 a piece. So I grabbed 2. I may grab some comfrey tomorrow, which is great for wounds, healing wounds. But one for him and one for me. And then there's a podcast I adore, okay? I love, the name's kind of funny. Can y'all see that? Anyway, the guys from there, the one that I met and I saw last year too, Chuck, his wife is amazing. He's like so nice. He's so personable. And so I went to his booth and I got a t-shirt because why not? I'll promote his podcast. They have great information. They're funny guys, and it's, they're funny on the podcast, and you learn a lot from them. And they're straight shooters. And again, he's such a nice guy in person. And his wife was lovely last year when I saw her, and I was like, I saw the name of the podcast on the booth, and I was like, I know this podcast. And I was talking about, because at the beginning of all the podcast, it's got this really rocking podcast. It goes, all right. So I was like, I love it when you say that. So I was just waiting and listening for you to say that. So tomorrow I will go. There is 8 o'clock. It's called a sunrise service. I'm going to go to that one. sunrise service at, at 8 o'clock, and then immunity how to, freeze drying, and how to use herbs and mushrooms. So I'll report on those classes next time I have this. I've got to pack the camera kit up tonight because I'm going to leave the hotel and then go to prepper camp till about the last class at 12:30 or whatever. Grab a little quick something to eat and then head on out, or probably head out and grab something on the road. So it's been really an amazing learning experience. I mean, where can you take all these classes for under $100 for the whole weekend? It's crazy. The knowledge and the expertise, and just these people are amazing. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you two more. Urban break contact, dealing with if you run into a mob in the road, what are you going to do? What are you going to do if they surround your car? That was really good. This one, I've never heard of it before. Meshtastic comms. It's a type of communication system that is data only. So you buy the device called a hub, and then you can communicate without cell, without internet, only by text. So you send the text, it bounces off a hub to another hub to get to its destination. I don't know a lot about that. I'm not going to get in the weeds with that because this is brand new to me. I've never heard of this, but it's a really good alternative for when you have absolutely nothing. So I'll probably investigate that and learn about that some more. Right now, I'm still trying to navigate learning GMRS radio. I've got kids set up with their radios programmed to the repeaters that are in their areas, and until I learn more and get a more comfort level, I know the basic, find the repeater. As far as like talking to people, I've not really had any back and forth with people. They'll have, you can do like radio checks, and sometimes people will answer and sometimes they won't. And then this was a really cool one. Noticed some kids in there too, some young boys. And that's another thing too. The girls and the boys that I saw there, how awesome is that? That the young people are learning these skills. This is beyond. It's like Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts on steroids, because they're really learning from some experts. I don't know if they're earning badges as they do it, but they're learning life skills. So like I did see a lot of the young girls, like maybe 12, 13 years old at the self-defense. I think that is fantastic. In the drones post-disaster, I did not know there were drones that could do what they could do. So young boys were in there, and everybody wanted to see that dang drone fly that he had. He had a nice rig. It's like a $2,000 one with a GPS screen and a thermal camera. And so we all wanted to see that. And of course, the storm came in and we didn't. But guys need to look that up. That is pretty fascinating what they will do. And I kind of like the cute little he had one little cute handheld one that, I mean, you can do a lot with it. It's got a camera on it. It's one that you can hold in the palm of your hand. So I may end up having to get one of those because it just looks so stinking cute. It looks like a little, I don't like flies, but a little insect, cute insect or something. But I mean, they can do so much. And he said that's how they got it coordinated for lights. When you're seeing these drone lights, they're programmed to a swarm of them, which is many, many, many small drones. I did not know how they were doing that in the day I learned. So I learned a lot. So all these classes over a 3-day weekend for under $100. I mean, if you go somewhere online to take a class a la carte, you're going to end up spending $100 to $300. So I don't know what opportunities you have near you, but if you have these type of PrepperNet items. I think PrepperNet is US based. I think they've got groups all through the United States. Prepper Camp is Saluda based. I don't know how many years they've been doing that. It's based in Saluda. They all come to meet there. But I mean, this is not the only one in the world. There's got to be other opportunities. So I highly recommend that for learning, for networking, for just being around people and having fun. It's so much fun. And to learn, it's learning and it's fun. And again, I really liked my sparring partner. She was adorable. But anyway, y'all take care. I'll update you on tomorrow's uh, prepper camp, how the final 3 classes went, and I will talk with y'all later. Love y'all. Take care.